When Matthew Lunn started his new job in 1992, he screwed his shoes to a wooden rectangular board, got onto his office desk, and then leapt off. Who had just employed him? I will read that again. Matthew Lunn started his new job in 1992. He screwed his shoes to a wooden rectangular board, got onto his office desk, and then leapt off. Who had just employed him? It's brilliant.
My first thought is, it can't be because this was 1992, but my first thought was Red Bull, and this is just a really good marketing campaign for them, because I feel like extreme shoe nailed jump from a height is probably a thing they'd have done or would have done. They put a skate park under a hot air balloon. They've done a load of it. It was either that or Jackass.
I like the idea of a Red Bull stunt done in an office where it's like escape corporate life and turn everything into your skate park. Speaking of skate parks, though, I think it could be a skateboarding company or a snowboarding company like Burton, or a wakeboarding company, something where you're boarding. But I can't think of any skateboarding companies off the top of my head. Vans off the wall.
Tony Hawk.
There's loads of things like that. What was her name? Matthew Lunn?
Matthew Lunn, 1992. The year is a clue.
Wait, did he say attached, like nailed? How did he connect his shoes to the board?
I've got a picture here that you can't see, but so there's like a wooden board. Yeah, like a skateboard. The shoes are nailed to it, and then he obviously put his feet inside the shoes, so his feet are rigid on the board, and then jumped off.
I just had a flashback to something I haven't thought about in years, which is an advert that terrified me as a very young child. And it was an advert for some sort of glue, and I can't remember the details of it, but they stuck. So I'm sure there were loads of safety precautions you couldn't see. It was actually not actually done that way, but they super glued a stuntman's shoes upside down to a board and then dangled him out over a shark-infested waters or something. Clearly these days, that's a stunt with a load of safety precautions. As a 4 or 5 year old child, that genuinely terrified me. It was one of those things that you watch on television and it just, as a child, scares the hell out of you for some reason.
Yeah, Tom, back me up on this. There was also a guy in a white jumpsuit stuck to a board. It was to do with superglue or something, and they dangled him over a volcano.
Is it No More Nails?
I don't know. All I know is that there's some horrible childhood television trauma bubbling up in the back of my brain now.
Yeah,
I'll search on YouTube later. It's clearly not relevant to the question, but that's just to go and just give me the shudders for a while when I go and look it up.
Go down a YouTube rabbit hole later of old 1980s adverts. Yeah, that's always fun.
Some archivist will have put that up on the internet somewhere, probably with an obnoxious watermark over it.
Yeah, tangent anecdote. You've seen the one where John Noakes, Blue Peter, climbs up Nelson's column in Trafalgar Square without any safety harness, and you're like,
yes.
"Oh my!"
It's not just that though. The cameraman is doing it
terrifying.
With a 1980s camera, one hand on the ladder.
Apparently, he had to do it twice because the first time the film didn't work or something like that. They had technical problems.
That's insane.
Just to fill in for people who don't know, Blue Peter is a magazine program for kids. Here's interesting stuff in the world. It's one of the things that inspired me. And I was a bit too old. I didn't see the footage from this until years later. But one of the presenters was working out how they clean Nelson's column, the big column in Trafalgar Square. And it turns out they just, before harnesses were a thing, they just went up on ladders, including one where you have to climb dangling, backwards on a ladder. And if you don't do it right, you fall.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of took him up there, and there's a camera guy doing it back. I assume none of this is relevant to the question, Jeff.
No, but he's kind of...
Okay.
And it's been 5 minutes now. I think Annie said
sorry.
It's she said to skateboard, it's nothing to do with skateboarding.
Okay.
Sorry.
And it's far too early for Jackass or anything like that. Okay.
And I don't know what year Jackass was. Yeah.
That would have been early 2000s.
Shoes, nailed to board, jumps off desk. He then proceeds to walk and crawl and run around the office like this whilst he's being videoed. So he's being filmed.
Has he been hired by Pixar and he's being one of the little army guys?
Oh my God! Yes,
exactly that.
Because
How
I thought of the army guys like 10 minutes ago before the tangent, but I was like, that's not from 1992.
What?
It is. That's like 1994, 95. Toy Story came out, so they would have been starting development in it back then.
You've nailed it.
Yay!
Like his shoes.
Like his shoes. That's freaky that you got... Well, I had more clues lined up.
Thank you for holding off on that until we got through the tangents there. That's fine.
I didn't know. I didn't know that was going to be right.
Yeah, Jenny, I want you on my pub quiz team. You're my new best friend. Come to all quizzes that I now go to, and
I'm fine as long
Great.
as we have someone for the sports round. I'm all good.
Would you like to know some of the more details?
Yes, please.
In 1992, Matthew Lillard was employed by Pixar. He was one of the first 12 animators employed by Pixar to work on their first animated film, Toy Story. And his first assignment was to animate the little green army men. So to do that, he rigged up this shoe contraption and videoed himself and played it back to get the animation correct. That's brilliant.